Hey, forgive me, what you're hearing in the background is my fan. It's hot over here, so forgive me, but I guess I'm just gonna have to boil for just so you guys can hear me. Anyhow, you may hear that my audio is a little bit clearer as I'm using my studio microphone. What I mean by my studio microphone, you can literally hear me touch my laptop, move my legs on the floor, clap my hands quietly. It makes it a little bit clearer. Anyhow, this is my co-work workspace. So this is not it exactly, but just to explain to you how it works without actually impacting the actual workspace. So this is just a copy of it. So my co-work workspace is a combination of two people online's workspace. I will give you the links in the comment section of this video. The description of the video so you guys can go back and look at it. So my co-work workspace works with workstations, which is these, and knowledge bases. Knowledge bases are crazy. And my co-work also works on a Claude.md file and a memory MD file, which are these two. The memory is what Claude will read at the beginning of every chat session. Anything you tell Claude to remember, it comes in here. So again, because this is Markdown and this is open in Visual Studio, let me show you this in Obsidian so you guys can see what I'm talking about. So this is my actual co-work workspace. This is everything from my about me to this is my vendor template to my about me, my skills directory. Skills directory is a little bit different because I want to keep track of every skill I have built. So here's my job assistant skill. Here's my OS system skill. I'm trying to see if I can what I can show you without actually revealing any core private details. But yeah, here is my memory auditor skill that will audit my memory just to make sure it's not overloaded. So any new skill I create gets saved in the directory. Here's my email workstation and whatnot. So there are workstations and there are knowledge bases. So I am here over here. This is my memory document. If I open this up in Claude, so I go here, my memory, here we go. Here's my memory. Anything that I tell Claude to remember about me, anything that, so for example, my cover letter, my what jobs I've been applying for, everything gets saved here. So when I now open co-work, forgive my stutter, when I now open co-work, whenever I start a session, Claude will immediately read this document. But there's a specific rule here. 150 line maintenance rule. The reason for this is that if this file here gets too big, Claude will spend more tokens reading this than actually doing my work. So what Claude will now do is take anything that is not necessary or I haven't been using, and it will go into a a memory system folder that has every part. This one has no limit. My memory document has a ceiling. What does that mean? The moment it hits a ceiling of 150 lines, I can increase it to like 300 lines. It means that the moment it hits that 300 line limit, it will immediately move some information into my, I'm going to call it a master memory system, where everything goes into. So if Claude needs to reference something and it's not in the memory document, and it's not in my root memory document here, it will be in my memory system guide document. So this document here acts like this document here. The difference is this is the primary document that is consistently updated and read. This is the next primary document where Claude can come back into here and see any past information that it needs to remember. I have a my details page. I have a ideas document. So whenever I have an idea, for example, or playbook skills pack, this is talking about these. That is talking about these playbooks, right, that you're looking at right here. So it captured the idea and whatnot. It's a Spark. I want to change that to developing, so that it knows that I'm doing it. And so I can add more information to this if I want to, but this tracks any idea I have. So any idea I have, it will automatically upload it. I need to update it so that I don't have to tell it to track it. If I say I have an idea, it will immediately put it into here. Regardless if I've had the idea, if I'm developing it, if I've just shelved it, it's going to be in here. Then here's a rule set for creating workstations. So whenever I say I want to create a new workstation, it will read this document first. It will add a new routing map in my Claude MD document, which is over here. The routing document A, has it broken it? Or is it in memory? There we go, yeah. So it will add a new routing, what do you call it, map here. So you see here, email skill architect, when I'm building, refining, packaging, anything to do with skills, it comes to here. Email HQ. Email HQ when I need to draft, reply, or review any email. This is crazy because my email is connected up to Claude. It knows, it reviews my email, it looks at my emails, it knows how I write my emails. Let me show you what my email HQ is. Here's my email HQ right here. My identity, my greeting, my approach, my memory, who I work with, my music, school, and whatnot. And how I sign off. If I come back into the folder, we're going to let's go back into workstations. We go to email HQ, email resources. There's nothing in here. That's why there was nothing showing. But yeah. So this is how my actual co-work system looks, where everything's here. So if I want to come to, sorry, there's a few things I've been needing to delete. But yeah, so if I want to come, let's say I want to go into my email HQ. If I want to add a resource here, like an email template, examples of emails, I can add it to the resources here. So whenever I tell Claude to write an email and follow my one of my email templates, it will come to the resources. But here we go. But you might be thinking, okay, what happens if there's too much memory and it goes over, or there's memory that is outdated? Nothing is ever deleted. It goes into a folder or a file called archive. And what this means is any completed projects, retired decisions, context is all going to be put into here. There's no ceiling, there's no limit. Anything that I've done, if I work in next year, if in 2 years' time, everything will still be in here. So if I say, okay, in 2 years, I say, what happened in 2026? What did I do there? What are my key achievements in 2026? I can now go, hey, yeah, so you did this, you did that. Here's your projects that you achieved. Here's what you did and what not, because I told it to go read my archive. I have a para system here, but I don't know if this is going to work. I'm going to add it to the main thing. I have a communications folder. So how I talk, the way I want to talk, my structure, my persuasion, how approved outputs and everything is going to be in here. My personal system that I use is in here. My writing voice. And you may wonder, hang on, bear with. You may wonder, oh, have you just dropped Lisa? Nope. She's right here. Then there's Riley. And here's Ryan, which is a creative writing assistant. Pause, bear with me, I need to cough. Bear with. So that was only like a split second for you. But anyhow, yeah. So here's Ryan. So the best part about this, Lisa's here. If I want to expand Lisa's role, add another persona into here, I can. I can come into Claude and tell it. I can't come into Claude just yet because, let me show you it. Oh, I can. In fact, I can even show you it right now. I didn't even know it reset. So I can even show you it right now. And so I've got my default folder set to my Cowork OS system entirely. So in fact, let me even show you how my Cowork system works. So in fact, so my details is all here about me. I don't want to click it just in case there's some private details about me. And there's my brand, styles, and whatnot. Now, let's go back to the folder. Let's go back to the folder. So the workstations. Each workstation has a memory and a claude.md file. But these two files here are the root files. I've put them into individual folders so that you guys can, so that it's all organized. But if I show you, let me go into my Cowork OS system. These two documents you're seeing here are over here in my actual Cowork folder. Oh, but bear with me. Let me quickly charge my laptop. Forgive me, I'm really just starting doing this properly. Okay, there we go. I'm charging now. But yeah, so these two documents you see here are these two documents you see right here. Here's the workflow designs that I was talking about. A whole list. All of my skills work essentially the same. They have a resource file of a bunch of information that it looks into. You then ask it about the information it's got, and it comes back to you with it. But yeah, so this is it. This is my skills directory I was talking about. Everything's in here. It has its own memory file. So it has a folder. It knows where each prompt is where each skill is connected to. It has its own Claude MD document. This Claude MD document is for this folder, not the root folder. The root folder's MD document. These two files here are global root and MD documents. This is specifically for this folder. This is from my custom instructions, a change log, so I can see what is being changed. If I want to roll back, also rollbacks are here. So if I make a change, it will create a copy of the previous one. So if I want to go back to a previous version, I can. It's everywhere. It's even in here. So it's even there. So I deleted app creation, but hey, I want app creation back. So I can come here. There's the memory there's the Claude document. There's the application document, and then there's the Claude document for an application. But this is in my root file. So now I've been bouncing around. Now let's talk about the extras here. Extras, I've already started. You already know about the skills directory. Knowledge bases are a different thing entirely. So knowledge bases here work. It turns Claude into a librarian. Let's come back out of here. Also, I forgot. Here is the template that it uses to build the knowledge bases each time. But I forgot to show you. If we come back into workstations, is it not in here? I don't think I put it in there. I can't even remember if I put it in here. I know, so I haven't. So let's go back into the extras. Knowledge bases are crazy. So the way it works is that here's the file I was talking about. So the way a knowledge base works in Claude or in my system is, if I want to build a knowledge base specifically on a purpose, the way it works is you dump a bunch of files into the raw folder. You tell Claude to compile the information in the raw folder and create a wiki from it. Claude will then read any documents you have in here and create a wiki in here. Questions. It will create questions. It even has an index of what is in here. This is empty because this is the template that it follows. But I'll show you an example of one actually working. But yeah, so, and then if you want now to use a knowledge base, for example, I have let's open it up again. I've just closed it. So I have a prompt engineering knowledge base. What does this mean? You see, every document has a memory, Claude.md, changelog, and rollbacks. So if I decide to delete, or if I say I want to change the MD document for the Claude MD document in this folder, it will first create a backup in rollbacks and then update it. But yeah, so like here, I have a raw file. Here's all the information I've put into it, and it now created a wiki of all the different parts of it. So let's even try this right now. So we're going to come back here. So this is my prompt engineering knowledge base. We've put files into here. I'm now going to come into Claude. I'm going to come here and go choose different folder, come into my CoWork system, and I'm going to open knowledge bases, prompt engineer, and then click select folder. Now, here's the fun part about the CoWork system. It's still using my root folder, so it's still looking at everything, but it's also looking at my prompt engineering knowledge base. So for the fact that these two are now selected, it means that it's still applying memory from my my global root MD, my global memory root MD, but it's also applying the the memory and Claude document for this file as well. So it's currently loading 4 Claude and memory documents. So like here. So before I actually show you how it works, here's an example of a output that I used with it. Let me open up. Let me open up the memory thing. Let's go to knowledge bases. Let's go to prompt engineering. Also, fun thing, I've even created a custom GPT builder, so I can add my document into here. So here we go. You see it here, wiki, and it built. Let's show you it. Let's show it in the folder. So I built a custom GPT builder. So you see, I added PDFs and for different things. What did it do? It created a wiki of instruction architecture, GPT meta prompt. If I open it, here we go. Here's the GPT meta prompt. I can change this if I want. Then there's the examples, communication, and whatnot. So now I can tell GPT. I can show you what I'm explaining to you now. So I can now come into here, into Claude, and say, and I can sign in or log into this folder and say, can you output me a custom GPT for X, Y, and Z, or for prompt refinement? And it will look into its wiki that's created, look into each one of these things as knowledge files, and then output a document into here. And that's what we've got here in the output folder. So let me come into Claude, so into what you call it, Obsidian, to show you again. So let's come into here, and we're going to open prompt engineering. I previously asked it to create me a beginner's guide to some things, and here it is. It's created what a prompt actually is, what it does, my simple, my broad but specific chain of thought, tree of thought, and whatnot. So let's actually show you this knowledge base in action. So I'm going to come into here and go, remember, we are already in the prompt engineering thing. I don't have to add any files, it's already in there. So I'm going to go, hey, could we use Lisa for this process? And Riley, and Ryan as well, because Ryan I think will be very helpful here. I want to build a guide, like a beginner's guide to a intermediate guide on prompt engineering, how to build a prompt, how to structure a prompt. Could you use the prompt engineering knowledge base and output it for me? I want to also include my simple but complex methodology and my reusable, reliable, and repeatable methodology as well within here, so that people can understand it as well. I only want you to speak through the personas of Lisa and Riley. If you need help, there's information in your resource folder about these personas. speak through Lisa, Riley, and Ryan. Ryan should take over this meeting or this task as he's more of the creative writer. Now, what you've just seen me do is I've asked it to speak through Lisa and Riley and Ryan. What I've just done is called role play forcing. It forces the AI to behave as someone. And again, if you remember earlier, if we come into my co-work system, nope, that's the rollbacks, and we go into personas, Lisa has her own persona. So when I tell co-work or Claude to talk through the persona of Lisa, it will read this. And because I said about Ryan is like the creative writing and persona. There we go. It's here. So when I'm telling Claude to talk through these personas, it means that I want it to be like this, and I don't have to tell it to be a brand shape narrative. I don't have to tell it anything specific. And if I want to, I can add another line to it. And I can go here. So I can add examples to this as well. So you can see I'm adding any. So as you can see, I'm adding a little bit. So here we go, and then when I come out of this, it will automatically save. So now, when I send this through to Claude, let me just double check I'm still recording. Yes. So when I now send it through to Claude, also Claude is updated to low, medium, and high, and max. I'm gonna try. Let's just try medium. I'm not gonna do adaptive thinking. Oh, also Opus 4.8 has come out. But yeah, I'm not going to try adaptive thinking, because when you choose adaptive thinking, it means it will also try and use Opus. So when you have adaptive thinking, it means it will choose what model to pick instead of you. But yeah, so let's just go through Sonnet, and we're going to send this through. I'm going to come back when it's done. In fact, I forgot to say, you'll know it is done because in the outputs folder you will see a new. So right now we have README and we've got beginner's guide. So beginner's guide of what I showed you earlier, and the README is here. So in fact, I'm glad I looked at this, because I need to change that to. That, so that it's actually the proper format. But I'll come back when Claude is done. In fact, I don't even need to stop. We can even see it's talking through Lisa, Riley, and Ryan. So here we go. Because I want to add more things to the catalog, it's telling me that I have a catalog to build, a Telegram audience to grow. This is reading from my About Me, because don't forget, we're still connected up to. It's even used a skill that I created for myself, about something I want to build. It's just about, it's my personal operating system essentially. But anyhow, yeah. So you can see here, it says one practical note from Riley. It has everything we need: the prompt autonomy, the 7 beginner guide, some beginner modules, 2 advanced techniques. Well, covering this. No research gap. This is a writing and structure job, not a research job. Ryan can craft this straight to the file. So Ryan again, Ryan's talking through the persona. Don't forget, we've got our personas right. We've got our personas right here. So it's talking through this entire thing. So Ryan is. So you know how you have a GPT prompt and you say, "Oh, you are a creative writing thing." No. I'm telling Claude to write as Ryan, and this is all the prompt in here. So I think it's done. Here we go. It's done. So we're gonna see this in the folder. Oh, it outputted outside. That's interesting for me. But yeah, it should be in here. But let's go back. Let's see it in the main file. Okay, here we go. It's here. I'm gonna personally myself move it into outputs. And so now let's come back into Claude, because Claude, I keep calling this Claude into Obsidian because Obsidian can see this a little bit better. And we're going to open prompt engineering, and we're going to go into outputs. This. So now here we go. From beginner's guides, from beginner to intermediate. And so here we go. Best prompts are easy to take this instruction, correct grammar and whatnot. And so like if I say, okay, I don't really like it. So in fact we're gonna do that here. We're gonna, as we're reading, we're gonna go, okay, so the example in simple but complex, could we output in the output folder of the prompt engineering knowledge base, please? But yeah, the simple but complex isn't really that, the example isn't really that strong. Could we have like an example where it shows a prompt, like a grammar and proofreading prompt that is complex, but then give a grammar and proofreading prompt as another example, but following this methodology of simple but complex, with a simple list in a grammar prompt, but listed to produce maximum quality. And then as we're going, and then so here, I like what you've done with module 1. I like how you've used my document that I gave to you. That's actually beautiful. And even gives a complete one here. So I like this. But yeah, could you add to your knowledge, to add to the memory of the knowledge base workstation, that regardless of what folder I'm in, sorry, not regardless, but the output of a knowledge base must be in the output folder of the knowledge base that I'm using. So for example, if I'm using my Lumix frameworks knowledge base and I'm telling that knowledge base to create me something, that knowledge base must output in the output. Oh, it's gone. In the output folder of the knowledge base, not in the root folder. Keep that in mind. So if I'm talking to my newsletter HQ wiki folder, it should output in the output folder of that one. If I'm talking to my personal knowledge base, it should output in the output folder of my personal knowledge base. If I'm talking to my knowledge base factory knowledge base, I want it to output in the output folder of the factory, so that it is there and everything's all neat and tidy. Forgive me, that was a bit too much, so I'm going to proofread that. I'm going to proofread this a little bit, as this is a bit too much. So I'm going to come back, I'm going to clean all of this up, and I'm going to come back to you. Okay, oops, sorry, I'm back. So it's been like 20 minutes, if you can if you see down here. But yeah, so I don't know if you remember, I gave you guys a three phase proofreader, and I'm using that now, and this is how crazy this one does. It goes literally line by line to proofread it, and then at the end it will give you a better version. So now let's come back out. Let's come back here, and we're gonna go here, and then we're gonna press send. We're gonna come back to this. So this is how my Claude system works. So you see, it's created a prompt engineering guide. This, if you've been in here since the prompt index, you would know that I have a you would know that I have like a guide to prompt engineering where it goes through like 16 modules of prompt engineering. Okay, I've already removed it, but let me see if I can find it before. Here we go. I have a guide to prompt engineering and like the frameworks. It's like a 16-part guide that goes through almost every aspect of prompt engineering. Every part of a prompt, every methodology, and whatnot. So the intro, context before the prompt, and whatnot. So if we come back into Claude, and we go into the folder here. Oh, enable. Oh, it's because I moved it. But yeah, it's okay. So if we come back into here, if we come and look here, it says context before the prompt. It will explain what is supposed to go in the prompt before and whatnot. If you come here, simple but complex, broad but specific, building your context, role assignment, see context before the prompt. It says module 1, but module 1 is technically this. Oh yeah. Module 1, context before the prompt, role, and then the secondary context. Here you go, role, secondary context. So you see, it used secondary context because in the wiki it has it. It has the broad but specific. It has the reusable, reliable, and repeatable, and it has the simple but complex. And then all of these are from it. So, in fact, we're even going to try it again. So we're going to put all of these into. Yep, sorry. Here it is. Here is the course information and everything into an MD document. So if I want to, I can take this and paste it into the wiki. So I can add it myself. And then next time I say, oh, I want it to... Oh, it's even, see? It's even updated it. So let me stop opening Visual Studio and let me actually show you it in Obsidian. So where were we? We were in Prompt Engineering Knowledge Base. We're going to come from beginner to... So here we go. It's updated it now. Has it? Or is it just... Here we go. Here's the better version. So I'm gonna, in fact, let me come out of this theme, because this theme is stressing me out. So here we go. So I don't know if you can hear my mouse clicking, but yeah. So let me copy this, and we're going to change this one to this one. So yeah, you can see it now. Simple but complex. Best prompts are easy to read but hard to replicate. And so we go. We've got over-engineered versions that, and here we go. Simple but complex version. So this is over-engineered. So this is what simple but complex means. You've got step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5. This is too much. This is a good prompt, but it's too much. This simple but complex version, you see here, it writes it out. You've got a list. This prompt here does the exact same as this, but the output of this will be 10 times better than this. And so here, it gives you a step-by-step guide on here. I'm going to come back into Claude, yeah, I was correct the first time. I'm going to come back into Claude and go, in fact, let me see how long we are at. 43 minutes. So, okay, I'm going to try and speed this up. So we see everything here. In fact, let's show you this in action. So you guys are going to now see me actually use my CoWork OS system. So I'm going to use this guide to create a newsletter. So let's come out of here. We're going to open up the knowledge base. Outputs, we're gonna take this, and I want to make sure. So I'm going to put in brackets here this, so I can find it out in my documents. Yep, here we go. It's this one. Yep, so now I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to come here and go, I want to create a new newsletter. I think this is not going to use the prompt of the week format. This is going to use a editorial format. This is more of a guide to prompt engineering, how to use it and the concepts. could you build me a newsletter in the newsletter workstation, in Newsletter HQ? I'm not going to use Sonnet or anything because this is just simple. It's already got a template, so it's going to be quick. So now we're going to come out and so this is going to use it. Let's quickly check how much my usage is. Nope, we're fine. So it's going to, so you see here, it's, remember, we're not even in the Newsletter HQ, we're in the knowledge base workstation. And here's something fun to show you. I've built a knowledge base factory where if I want to build a knowledge base, I just put the files within here. Oh, is it ready? So it's saving a rollback. Okay, I approve of this. Could you show me the outline of the new format? It can't be the same or be similar to the prompt of the week template. Also, create a templates folder in the workstation so that if I tell you to use the editorial guide, you can use it. If I tell you to use the prompt of the week, you can use it. And if there's and then put all templates that have previously been given in another folder and create a specific folder called newsletter templates and move all those templates into that folder and delete the folder. But first, move it into the folder first, so you're not deleting the files. So yeah, so now I remember we're not even in. Well, I remember all I did was click my news. In fact, I didn't. Yeah, okay, I did click it, but yeah. So now it's reading my knowledge base, my prompt engineering, but it's also reading this. Let me show you my newsletter workstation. Hang on, let me come back because this is asking me some questions and I don't want to get up to an hour. Okay, so I'm back. I'm going to try and be quick. So here we go, yes. So right now, as you can see here, it's going to now create me the newsletter. And let's actually go into that folder, into that workstation. So we're going to be talking about newsletter HQ, and this is my newsletter HQ. Each day, my co-work looks at all of my workstations for prompts that I've been using or I've given to it, and it will create me a weekly queue of newsletter prompts that I could use for the prompt of the week. This way I will never have no prompt for the prompt of the week, and every Friday So I can add a prompt into this folder if I want. But what will happen is there'll be a weekly queue of prompts. Sorry, I'm confusing myself. Let me start again. So this is my newsletter workstation. So the way that this works is that prompts for the prompt of the week I would have put into here that we can use. Claude has a schedule that looks from throughout my entire workstations, all of them, for prompts. It will now add it to my prompts of the prompt of the week, and there's going to be a weekly queue. So if I want to use a prompt in here, if I need to have a prompt and I don't have one, I can quickly come in here and grab one. And then on Fridays, it will create me a newsletter that I could easily use. So for example, here's a full-on newsletter for the prompt of the week. Oh, sorry, I don't think this is. Oh no, this is just a playbook, forgive me. Okay, this isn't it. I can't even remember where I was at. Oh yeah, so yeah, here are some like prompts for the prompt of the week. So this is just one short prompt. This is like mirror protocol prompt and whatnot. So these prompts are here so that if I want to, these are just playbooks. All of these are, I think, yeah, so all of these are just like prompts from somewhere. So so now come Friday, if there is nothing in the weekly queue, it will either grab one from any one of these two folders. I might correct it and make it be, because this folder here, so I can add prompts. And so let me stop waffling. But yeah, so yeah, so it's created a new folder. So everything in here is what it is used for the newsletter. So if it needs to create a copywriting one, brand identity and whatnot. So here we go. We've done a new editorial prompt. I think there's two. Here we go. Here's the new editorial format. So now remember, we were creating a newsletter from the guide. We come into here. Here we go. Here's a brand new newsletter that I can just copy and paste it directly into the newsletter system. And so just to show you that this works, let me open Obsidian. Let's go into the knowledge. Let's go into the HQ, and let's go newsletters ready for publication, and here it is, the whole thing. So like now, if I really want to, I can copy this, open up my newsletter system. We can come back to newsletter. In fact, we're going to go new. And we're just going to paste. There we go, it just glitched a bit. But yeah, so we're just going to click paste. And then all I do is now copy here, come here, and just put the thing here, because Beehive does something for me. And so like now all I do is what I will now do is I will normally pick a prompt here, or a, what do you call it, a thumbnail here, and use it. So here we go, everything's now here. And so now all I do is just click review. So here's what I mean by Beehive does it for me. I can just change the title and it now does it better for me. And then all I now do is, so I can click preview, and then this is how you guys will see it. And if I want to, I can set, in fact, if I want to, I can send it specifically, I can preview this as if I was Mass. I can preview this as if I was one of you guys. This isn't Mass, so don't worry. Or I can preview this as one of the random people. I can preview this as myself. Read online, and it will open it up in here. So this is how it will look online. So you can subscribe here and whatnot. And then if you want to go back onto the other page, you can see all the other prompts. If you want to see prompt engineering ones, you can just tag here. All of the newsletters that I've been doing for the last few weeks are all here. So let's go back. So we're going to come back here. We're going to go review. We're going to schedule it. Let me even check. Do I have one scheduled for this Saturday? Oh God, I've got 3 minutes left before this is an hour. Oh, yes, I've got one scheduled for this Saturday. In fact, you guys will know it, but I'm going to schedule it for right now. Publish now, and there we go. A brand new prompt has been made. I'm now going to co-work, and I'm going to say, hey, one thing quickly. Sorry, a couple of things actually. Could you actually make a dedicated templates folder and move any templates that I have, not content hooks, but any templates that I have that are specifically for how the newsletter is run, and put it in there. Use the new empty folder, and this newsletter, could we now remove it from the publication folder? In fact, could we move these two into the published folder? Thank you. And again, Claude is going to do that. I'm going to cut this short. If you guys want if you guys want me to go much deeper into how my Claude system works, so if you want to, I can show you specifically how my whole system works. But right now, you've gotten the nitty-gritty parts from me. I'm sorry it's a big one. Anyhow, it's a long tutorial. But yeah, I will add the links in the description so you guys can see. Bye.